So I'm here to talk about Twitter bots. So who, what, where, how, and why. The why part is the longest one. So, well, I'm Duukkis, like a developer, architect. Been doing this like 20 years, so almost stuff. Not the bots for 20, but the internet. So long time. And started a new company in this summer. So Hakaniemen Lomakepaja is the place. Okay, well, has something kind of, there's the Tuukka, but there's also Duukkis. That's kind of the person who lives on the internet. And he's the god of the internet, as you all know. Should know after this. And that's kind of Duukkis' first tweet. And that is actually from like a PHP client, even though it says Twitter web. So kind of find out what is Twitter and then let's try it out. So what are Twitter bots? So basically those are kind of accounts that just have application access and just a small piece of code that tweets something out. So if you go to your own account, you might see some apps connected to your account or they're not. And that's how the bots work. They might kind of tweet something or then require some user interaction. So let's go with what they are. So they can also, of course, tweet. This is something that goes through like open subtitles and then translates them via the machine and then tweets it out in English. So if you ever wonder what's happening on Netflix if the translations is bad, so this kind of demonstrates that. All the bots presented here are done by Duukkis. I talk about him as he is a third person, not me. So yep. And then you can retweet. So this one just kind of gets all the tweets which have this hashtag and then just retweet away. Or you can like tweets. This is a nice bot that kind of gives you speed up the day if you're feeling bad. It's like a nice little pussycat and then he likes everything, so he likes all your tweets where you mention him or mention some jakso. Well. Or then you can just reply. This is something that replies. If you write kiitos olko Juso, then this one replies. So. Just one stupid. Or you can have pictures, that is possible. You just tweet them away. This one, actually this is suspended for some reason, I don't know why, but it is. Or you can tweet videos if you like. So this one, I have a presentation about this later, so but it's just a video, 30 seconds video. That's kind of the Twitter limit, so it tweets videos for fun. Or you can have the location if you like. So it's kind of, the bots are, they can do whatever you can do in Twitter. So where do bots live? No. They live in my kind of electrical closet. So this is the Finnish bot army. It's there. Tweeting away. And that's the front app. And that's not all of it. So, so I'm a PHP guy, so it just tweets it away. I have some minutes to go still, so all the minutes are not kind of taken. I usually kind of put them in the minutes available, but yeah. Or some I have in the kind of any supplier web hotel that supports the kind of cron tab. So some I have in there. You can put them there, or you can put them in a demos. So this is kind of the. I found out that somebody there's this old account that's kind of one of the first bots I encountered that tweets away like there's a plant and then there's the humidity measurement in the soil. So I just kind of wanted to redo it for myself. So I have this big plant and just put it there. And there's actually a Twitter library for the ESPs. So it kind of calculates the hash sums and then tweets away. So I think the bot is dead. The plant is well and alive still. So that is something. And then the how they are made. So the basics. This is actually something I haven't kind of revisited since I used the same kind of client, but this is how they were made like a few years ago. So you just need to get a application from developer.twitter.com and create an application and with the permission to write, so you can tweet away. Then you just create a bot account. Any account will do. This is something that didn't make alive, but for this example. And then you just give it application access. So I have a page that kind of does this handshake. So you have the client ID and then the client, and then you need to, with this account, you need to go to the page and then give the client the authorization that this application can use your account in any way you want, or in these ways. And then you got the user keys, the token, and the secret, and then of course you got the client ID and the client secret. So 4 things you need. And then you just tweet away. So that is actually the Duukkis tweet. So it kind of I just push in one of the Gutenberg org books, and then this one just parses like 140 characters, finds out the dots and commas and stuff, and then just tweets away. So it's my eyesight is bad, but it's like 40 lines of code, and that just does it. So that's a bot. But then, if you're not a PHP guy, or Java guy, or Node.js guy, there's kind of libraries for everything. So it's an endless possibility. And then the funny part, why make bots? Or why I make bots? I think the technical details can be googled by anybody, so that's kind of... So yeah. I think I've worked like 20 years in the internet, so the things you can learn with the bots is that you have this bunch of like small scripts or a bunch of APIs or a bunch of whatevers, and then there's nobody to present them to. So I think this is the kind of my way of representing myself on the internet. So I think there's kind of plenty of APIs that's usable and then funny, or somehow kind of you might need them in the future. So this is kind of my go-to place when searching for something new or funny or something possibly usable later in life. Programmable web, and they have like whatever you like on the APIs. And then, of course, sometimes the data isn't always available via API. So what I've learned here is how to make web crawlers. So, and this is kind of the PHP style, or PHP is the most easiest way to do a kind of a web crawler. So you just get the page, like this is there's also a slide after this, but then you just get the data and push it out, whatever it is, and in a funny form or usable form or whatever form. So that is something I've learned. Or you can learn to draw pictures. So this is just kind of two words. There's a conjugated word, and this one ends with that, and then this one is kind of that, and then there's a Venn diagram. So something fun. Or if you're kind of in the darker side, then you can like maps. You can draw maps. So if you want to draw pentagram side, like shaped routes, so you can go to map box and then kind of draw a pentagram in any city you like. So if you like, and tweet it away. Or I like the Finnish language, so you can hyphenate. This is a kind of 40 lines again, like how to hyphenate Finnish words. And then you've got the syllabuses, 5, 7, and 5, and then it's a haiku, so tweet it away. There's only like 3 rules how you hyphenate the words, so pick it up on the internet, so that's fine. And then there's some weird stuff also. This is something we picked up from lunch. Kind of went to lunch and then thought, what are the colors of cars in Finland? Well, of course, you can go to Trafi and then kind of get the real results, but then this is much funner. You go to kind of the road service, get a random picture, like within a range, and then you kind of get install darknet to your Raspberry Pi and then detect the cars. You need to enhance the picture first, but then you kind of, okay, there's a car and there's another car, and then what's the color? Okay, well, I could match it with red or white or something, but I rather match it to a kind of this paint selling company. They have these lots of colors and they have like better names than red and white and something. So there's an amethyst and a troll going to Helsinki. I don't know. Or then if you have the National Library, that they have these old magazines. So, okay, I need to kind of, it's kind of boring that if I cut out this whole kind of, this is the paper's front page. If I always tweak this whole paper or whole page. And what is kind of funny in old papers is the articles and adverts and stuff. So kind of pick up one from a big page and then just tweet it away. And of course, they require that you mention what paper it is, what page it is, and then you need to have the link to the where it's from, and then you need to have it like National Libraries, digitalized archive. So then you got a random page, and then kind of algorithmic exercise here that kind of you need to detect the lines, and it was a kind of funny stuff. How do you pick up everything and then don't miss anything, and then kind of is the line full or is it not, and then all the so yeah, that was fun. Or then you can learn to conjugate Finnish nouns and verbs, like for fun. It's easy stuff like auto, auton, autosta, autona. So it isn't that hard. Be a machine. So there's Voikko who has done it, but then there's no interface that okay, I'll give it a noun and then it gives me the correct whatever. So I did it with PHP. Like took a few months. So. First the nouns and then the verbs. The nouns was the verb first, and then the verbs. That was kind of done more properly, but it works kind of 90% or not over. So yeah. And actually, this wasn't the bot. This is kind of like bot that kind of we have these well-known pre-verbs or pre-known like stuff. Yeah. Okay. But yeah. Or then like the terminal commands. This is something I've NetHack. That's kind of the fun things in life. Like when you're old, you need to go back. So there's these TTU files that have the commands in a terminal that okay, this line moves, and then there's the game. There's the game that okay, these are walls, and then there's monsters, and then there's the character, and then there's like the statistics, like your stamina is this, and then dexterity is this and this, and then people play the game, and then they they produce these TTU files that have the kind of timestamps and stuff like that, and where the character goes next and stuff like that. So this one also took like a lot of time, because first you need to kind of parse all the terminal commands. That's not so trivial. And then you get the terminal commands, and then you need to kind of rewrite them to a kind of single GIF, like you have all the screens, and then you have all the screens, but then you might need to kind of edit them or kind of shorten the time where the character is something. So, and in PHP there's no kind of way to make a animated GIF, because well, I wanted to make a video, so first I need to make an animated GIF. The making of that is not that trivial, so kind of I made a command that kind of inserts the bytes, like you have the one GIF, and then it defines the transparent colors, and then you append the next GIF, and then it checks if the transparent colors are existing, and then it maps out the whole animated GIF. So I used some other guy's code that was a bit bad, but yeah. and then you just kind of embed it, and then tweet away, make it correct for Twitter. So it works. And then some detective work and new tools. So the Finland edits, that's kind of the Congress edits from US. So needed to find out where the Finnish like the ministries and what's their IPs, and kind of okay, who is editing the High Supreme Court page, and this is this IP, and then found out the government IP space. So kind of there went forward, or then take screenshots. That is something used in work, kind of make it work in Raspberry Pi. So it's the don't remember the tool name anymore, but then kind of or capture pictures from video feed, like parse the
Korjaatko vähän mikrofonia ylöspäin?
Parse the pictures, like from a you get the two files when you're seeing a online video, so you pick up the correct files from one another and detect the video picture there and something like that. Or then for the Raspberry Pi, kind of that's working with the GPIO interface, so you plug in a component and detect movement or anagrams or part sounds, or something doesn't make to production. But yeah, then some kind of more important parts, like this is my or Duukkis' statement. So only make nice bots. So there's some suggestions that make this kind of bot or this kind of bot, but then I kind of decide if it's nice or not. So I only make nice bots. Sometimes you get fame. This is the daily dosage. So it kind of there's this Finnish service finale that kind of brings out the carbohydrates and salts and like the daily dosage what you need, and then I just pick up the random ingredient and then check out how much bean you would need if you want the daily dosage of salt. So that's like 40 kilos. This is quite popular. Or then you fail. This is actually I made for the Finnish conjugation, like the verbs. There's this one guy who tweeted like new Ubers. So there's the genitive of a noun. So that's why I made this. Used like 2 months of work and then got 12 followers. But I've used it somewhere else. It's not work wasted. And you get fame. There's some people who know me in the internet or know Duukkis. I don't know. It's kind of 2 persons. Have to decide. Have fun. This is something we kind of left to work and then kind of decided to make a bot in a bar, and then what do? And then you just pick up like a Pixabay image, like a tank, and then there's the strollers, and then get a stroller ad or kind of advertisement that somebody wants to sell a stroller, and then combine the words and the picture, and then you get something. Fame, yeah, there's some master thesis somebody's made. I mentioned there. Also, there's some Hungarian guy who called me and then kind of want to chat. okay, I want to chat. Yeah, fine. And of course, there are some articles that are representing my bots. That's fun. Duukkis likes fame. He's a guy. This one also, my bot. Yeah, more fame. Money. No. That's actually the chat bot. The guy asked me how much do you want for making it. I just said that I don't want any money because it's in my in my closet. If I take money, I need to if it dies, then it dies. And then if I take money, I need to prepare myself that okay, I need to go home or call somebody or something. So no extra effort on the bot. They just die. And that's it. Thank you.
So, do you have any questions for Duukkis or Duuk? Which one are you? That was a question.
Sometimes. My former CEO asked me sometimes that we were in a summer party and he asked, is it Duukkis today? And I said, yes. Yes.
Hell yeah! Yeah.
So it's a
Okay,
role.
first question.
What's your favorite bot?
My favorite bot is, I think, the it's not my telephone that is ringing, but I would say it's the I had it I'll tell it in a second. It's the I have this one that there's Oniman is the matikka. And then it it's like a children's poem that goes forever and ever. And then I made a from all the Finnish words, I gathered them together, and then it goes forever and ever. Yeah, just what is it bringing up to me today?
Okay, there's another question.
Why do you have so many bots regarding the Finnish language?
It's hard, and I got my Finnish is very bad, so I'm the least qualified person to make these things. And when I did the conjugation, okay, I need to go back, like how is this working, or how is the Finnish language is working. And I just cherish the challenge. That's the thing.
Lots of questions.
So there was this one bot that posted pictures to Twitter.
Yeah.
So where does those photos come from? Is there some kind of database or something?
Usually I the Flickr is good, like CC need to be, or CC without attribution, or then Pixabay is gray area that because you need to the credentials or the attribution and the rights need to be correct, so there need to be very clear. Or because I have this one idea that okay, the lyrics, I tweet lyrics, but then the attribution, and I wouldn't want to get into trouble, so that was skipped because of the I think the lyrics maker needs to be dead like 70 years or 50 or something in order to get the usage of the words. But Pixabay and Flickr, those are the good places.
Which one of your bots has the greatest following?
I think it's one of the dead ones, but the daily dosage, I think it's currently the most followers.
Okay. Have you run into some limitations set by Twitter you would like to be lifted, and what would they be?
I think every time I kind of make a new account, it gets suspended like immediately. So I need to give it my phone number, and I even bought a prepaid number. Kind of just after 10 accounts, you add the number and then you need to remove it because you cannot have 2 accounts with the same phone number. So that's kind of the thing. And then I try to kind of register I think the developer accounts, they're kind of restricted now. So I'm waiting for all my bots to die. Like as soon as the Twitter shuts it down, like my client ID, because you need to apply. It's not that simple anymore.
So what's the next bot?
I don't know. It comes when it comes.
Thank you. If you have any more questions for Duukkis, you can find him in the audience and ask all the things you want from him, and I'm sure he's happy to answer. And thank you, Duuk.
I think that was a record number of questions.